Alright, let's talk about a job nobody signs up for. Being an unwilling landlord to a bunch of six-legged freeloaders. I'm talking about the brown marmorated stink bug. If you've ever had one of these critters in your house, you know exactly what I mean. They show up unannounced, usually when the weather starts to turn cold, and they don't pay rent. They just sort of exist. They crawl on your curtains, buzz around your light fixtures, and generally make a nuisance of themselves. Their real claim to fame, though, isn't their bad manners. It's their smell. This little bug has a built-in chemical weapon, a stinky defense mechanism that makes it one of the most memorable and least welcome visitors you can have. It's a dirty job dealing with them, but somebody's got to do it. So, how do you know you're looking at a stink bug and not some other random beetle that wandered in? It's all about the shape. Look for a body that's shaped like a shield, kind of like a tiny walking coat of arms. They're usually a mottled, brownish-gray color, which helps them blend in with tree bark, and unfortunately, the beige walls of your living room. An adult is about the size of your thumbnail. They have 6 legs, 2 long antennae, and wings they can use to fly, often clumsily, right toward your face. Differentiating them from other bugs like the squash bug or the western conifer seed bug can be tricky, but the stink bug's shield shape is the most reliable giveaway. It's a distinct look that, once you see it, you won't forget. These guys aren't from around here originally. The brown marmorated stink bug is an invasive species, an immigrant from Asia that first showed up in Pennsylvania back in the late 1990s. Since then, they've been on a cross-country tour, spreading like wildfire because they don't have many natural enemies in North America. They're expert hitchhikers, catching rides in shipping containers, vehicles, and luggage. This is why you suddenly see them in places they never were before. They came here looking for a better life, and they found it in our homes and on our farms. It's a classic story of an outsider making it big, except in this case, we're the ones paying the price for their success. The real problem begins in the fall. As the days get shorter and the temperatures drop, stink bugs get one thing on their mind: finding a warm, safe place to spend the winter. This is a process called overwintering. Your house, with its cozy insulation and central heating, looks like a 5-star resort to them. They'll find their way in through any crack or crevice they can squeeze through. Gaps in window frames, tears in screens, vents, or even the space around a window air conditioning unit. They're not there to cause trouble intentionally, they just want to hibernate in your walls until spring. But then, on a warm winter day, they might wake up and decide to explore, which is when you find them crawling on your ceiling, wondering how they got there. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of what these bugs are all about. Outside of your house, stink bugs are agricultural pests. Big time. They have mouth parts that are basically tiny, sharp straws, which they use to pierce the skin of fruits and vegetables and suck out the juices. This is a dirty job of a different kind. They're not picky eaters either. They'll go after apples, peaches, tomatoes, peppers, corn, and soybeans. You name it. For a farmer, an infestation can be devastating. The feeding process leaves behind ugly, discolored spots and distorted growth, making the produce unsellable. It's a direct hit to the farmer's livelihood, all because this little bug got hungry. They are a serious threat to our food supply, which is a much bigger problem than just being an annoyance in our homes. So, about that smell. It's their signature move. Their one claim to fame. When a stink bug feels threatened, scared, or gets squashed, it releases a pungent chemical from glands on its abdomen. The smell is often described as being similar to cilantro, or sometimes like burnt tires or a musty, oily odor. It's not pleasant, and the scent can linger on your hands and in the air for a while. This is their defense mechanism, designed to make predators think twice about eating them. For most animals it works. For us, it's just plain gross. The worst part is that this chemical can also act as an alarm, signaling other nearby stink bugs that there's danger, which can sometimes attract even more of them to the area. Their life cycle is pretty straightforward. In the spring, the adult bugs that survived the winter in your walls emerge from their hiding spots. Their goal is to get outside, find a mate, and lay eggs. The female will lay clusters of small barrel-shaped eggs, usually on the underside of leaves. After about a week, tiny nymphs hatch. These little guys don't have fully developed wings and go through 5 growth stages, shedding their skin each time, before becoming adults by late summer. This new generation is the one that will be looking for a way into your house come fall, starting the whole miserable cycle all over again. It's a simple life, but it's incredibly effective at creating more stink bugs. When they are not trying to get into your house, they spend their time on plants, trees, and in gardens. They love sunny spots, which is why you'll often find them congregating on the south or west-facing side of your house in the afternoon, soaking up the heat. This is their staging area before they attempt their great indoor invasion. They aren't social insects like ants or bees, they don't build nests or work together, they just happen to all have the same idea at the same time. It's getting cold, that house looks warm. This mass gathering can be unnerving, seeing dozens, sometimes hundreds of them crawling all over your siding. It's a silent, smelly army preparing for a siege. Look, the best way to deal with a stink bug problem is to never have one in the first place. This means turning your home into a fortress. It's a dirty job that requires you to get up close and personal with every nook and cranny of your house. Start by doing a full perimeter check in the late summer or early fall, before they start looking for a way in. Your mission is to seal up any and all potential entry points. Use a good quality silicone caulk to fill cracks around windows, doors, siding, and utility pipes. Check the foundation for any gaps where they could slip through. It's tedious work, but every crack you seal is one less doorway for these smelly invaders. Your next line of defense is your windows and doors. Make sure your window screens are in good repair. A tiny hole or a small tear is like a wide open door for a determined stink bug. You can buy screen repair kits at any hardware store. They're cheap and easy to use. Also, check the weather stripping around your doors. If you can see daylight from inside, it means there's a gap big enough for bugs to get through. Replacing old, worn-out weather stripping is a simple job that not only keeps bugs out but also helps with your energy bills. And don't forget to cover any vents, like attic or soffit vents, with fine mesh screening to block their path without blocking airflow. Think about your yard, too. Stink bugs are attracted to certain plants and overgrown areas. While they'll eat just about anything, they do have their favorites. If you have a large vegetable garden right next to your house, you might be inadvertently rolling out the welcome mat. Try to keep the area immediately surrounding your foundation clear of weeds and overgrown vegetation, as these provide excellent hiding spots. Trim back any tree branches or shrubs that touch your house, as these can act as bridges for the bugs to get from the plant to your roof or siding. It's not about turning your yard into a sterile wasteland, but a little strategic landscaping can make your home a much less appealing target. Finally, consider your lighting. Like many insects, stink bugs are attracted to lights at night. If you have bright exterior lights right next to your doors and windows, you're basically sending out a giant invitation. Consider switching to yellow bug light bulbs for your porch lights, as these are less attractive to most insects. Alternatively, you could move your light fixtures away from doorways. Using motion-activated lights instead of leaving them on all night can also help reduce the number of bugs hanging around your entry points. It's a simple change, but it can make a real difference when that first cold snap hits and the bug invasion begins in earnest. So, despite your best efforts, some of them got in. It happens. Now what? The first rule of indoor stink bug combat is simple. Do not, I repeat, do not squash them. Unless you enjoy that lovely cilantro and burnt rubber smell wafting through your home, crushing them is a bad idea. Remember, that scent can also attract their buddies. The cleanest and most effective way to deal with the ones you see is with a vacuum cleaner. Just suck them right up. For an extra measure, you can use a vacuum with a bag that you can seal and dispose of immediately, or for a bagless vacuum, just empty the canister outside far from the house. It's a quick, clean, and smell-free solution. If you're looking for a more hands-on, do-it-yourself approach, you can build a simple trap. Get a wide-mouthed jar or a plastic soda bottle with the top cut off and inverted. Fill it with an inch or two of soapy water. Then, place a small battery-powered LED light or a desk lamp shining onto the container at night. The bugs are attracted to the light, crawl or fall into the soapy water and can't get out. The soap breaks the water's surface tension so they sink. It's a low-tech but surprisingly effective way to catch them while you sleep. It's a bit of a dirty job to clean it out, but it's better than having them crawling on your toothbrush. When it comes to the outdoors, dealing with a large population on your siding or in your garden is a bigger challenge. Some people swear by spraying a solution of soapy water directly on the bugs. A few tablespoons of dish soap in a spray bottle full of water can be effective. The soap helps break down the bug's waxy outer shell, causing it to dehydrate. This is a contact spray, meaning it only works if you hit the bugs directly. There are also commercial insecticidal soaps and neem oil products available that are safer for use in gardens than harsh chemical pesticides. Just be sure to read the label carefully and follow the instructions to protect your plants and any beneficial insects. Ultimately, if you're facing a full-blown infestation that feels overwhelming, it might be time to call in the professionals. A pest control expert can assess the situation and apply treatments, especially around the exterior of your home, to create a barrier that kills the bugs before they can get inside. They have access to more powerful and longer-lasting products than what you can buy at the store. It's not a dirty job you have to tackle alone. Whether you choose to vacuum, trap, or call for backup, the key is to be persistent. It's a smelly battle, but with the right strategy, it's one you can definitely win.